Hey guys, if you stumbled upon this video, it's probably because you're trying to figure out what's going to be happening for the new digital PSAT and SAT coming out this October. Well, guess what? You're in the right space because we're going to give you some exclusive information. But before we get started, please note the disclaimer listed above. Okay, now let's get started. So here's the thing. For the new digital SAT and PSAT, I just want to note that we're at the 1 year mark. And what does that mean? That means that we're at the 1 year mark in which students have officially taken the exam. It was around this time last year where the first test was released in the new digital format, and students have completed the test. They've gotten their scores, and they've done this multiple times from 2023 all the way up until now. And you might be thinking, what does that mean for me? Here's the thing. What that means for you is now we have exclusive information to better understand what the company is thinking about when they're releasing these problems that you need to know. And here are some things that we noted. Number one, there is a major shift in understanding geometry and trigonometry-based problems. There seems to be a common theme that these problems are generally harder. And we think that's because most students who are taking the exam are mostly focused on Algebra 1 and Algebra 2 when they're taking the test. So I just want to put that out there as a disclaimer, and so that way you can understand that there are harder problems and they tend to be in the trigonometry and geometry section. Here's another thing that we found out. See, the thing is, we now have 1 year reference of students taking the exam with Desmos in their pockets. So what that means is before you had a math section that was with a calculator and a math section that was without a calculator. But now we have data on the fact that students are taking the exam with a calculator in both sections, which means that the testing company has to shift the way that they ask problems. Because remember, they're going to try to test you on concepts and your knowledge on concepts. The point of the exam is not to test whether or not you know how to use Desmos and just plug and spit out information. It is the idea that you understand the concepts. With that being said, the following problem was one that I thought was interesting because you're not going to be utilizing your calculator as much to solve this problem as an easy plug and chug. However, it does allow you to see how algebra is shifting into more problems that are more conceptually based. So, with that being said, I want you to take a moment and read the problem in yellow here. Take a moment, pause your video, and read this problem and really comprehend how you think that you would solve this problem. And try to solve it on your own. It is an open-ended problem. And then once completed, make sure to unpause the video. So pause the video and get started. Okay, now that you're done completing this problem, let's see how to tackle this problem together. So the problem in yellow basically says there are three constants, P, Q, and R. And concepts of constants are commonly tested. And they note that there is an equation and that you're looking for R minus Q. Just as a disclaimer, this is a algebra-based type problem, and you're expected to note that they're not asking for X in this problem. They're asking for the value of R minus Q. While this is an open-ended problem, please note that most students who do make a mistake, it's not due to the fact that they solved the problem incorrectly. It's the fact that they solved for the value of X and thought that was the final answer. So I just want to note that as a disclaimer to make sure that you are reading the question to ensure that you're solving what they're actually asking for. Okay, so they give you an equation and they say it's equal to the equation on the right. So Our goal is to expand this equation on the right using simple algebraic concepts of distribution to get rid of these parentheses. So I'm going to go ahead and distribute this 4, and I'm also going to distribute this x over here. When I go ahead and do that, I get 4 times 3, which is 12, because I'm distributing 4 times 3 to get rid of that first parentheses, minus 4 minus x has to be multiplied together, and that gives you negative 4x. I'm going to tackle the side over here to expand and distribute that x over there, and I get plus 2x squared plus, now distribute the x to the 7, 7x. Now I'm going to go ahead and try to combine like terms. Remember, I want the left-hand side to match the right-hand side, and we're getting there. We just need to combine terms where we deem fit. So you could see that there is a negative 4x here, and there is a plus 7x here, and we can go ahead and combine those terms. Please note you can type this into Desmos, but remember, we want to make sure that we solve this problem efficiently. So because of this, I'm going to go ahead and just realize that this is plus 3x. And you should be able to do simple math like that quicker, because if you're trying to solve a problem like this, a friendly tip, you don't want to be going back to Desmos and selecting the answer and solving, because sometimes it could be taking more time than you coming up with the answer yourself. So I just want to note that when you are solving the problem together. So now we have negative 4x plus 2x plus 7x, and then we had the 12 over here. We combined like terms, and we got the negative 4x plus 7x gives us 3x. Now we're going to go ahead and bring down these two values, and we have 12 minus 2x squared. Now, if you notice, the problem answer that I have here is not matching up in the order that it is up there. So I'm going to go ahead and match around wherever I deem fit. So I'm going to go ahead and say that I'm going to, because I brought down the 2x here, this was supposed to be a plus sign. I'm going to bring down the 2x squared that I brought down and push that to the front. So I have 2x squared, so it matches up with px squared. I'm going to go ahead and bring down the 3x because it's going to match this value here with the x, and I have plus 3x here, and then I have just a constant by itself, just like the 12, and I'm going to bring that over. Basically, I'm rearranging this so it matches up in the same order as the problem here. Now I have 2x squared plus 3x plus 12. Perfect. Now remember, they're asking for the value of r minus q. That's what we're looking for. So if I look at this arrangement here, I know that 2 is equal to p. I know that q is equal to 3, and I know that r is equal to 12. So you can see how it matches up, and you could see how the constants values match up as well. And I could just say that, okay, r is 12, and I know that q is 3. Oops, I should have put down 3 there. Minus 3. And I just brought down the minus sign because that was there, and then just brought my positive 3 over. And I can go ahead and simplify this faster. And 12 minus 3 automatically, fast math, is 9. So our final answer is 9. So there's a couple of tips that you need to note here. One, I did not pull up Desmos, and that's because, once again, for these problems, you don't want to default to Desmos or your digital calculator to solve, or even physical calculator if you choose to do so for the new exam, because sometimes it could be faster just to solve. The point of the exam is to solve as many problems correctly and efficiently. So a problem like this is deemed very simple, but it takes some time to realize that you don't need Desmos. And you also need to realize you're solving for the problem that they're asking for, which is R minus Q and not the value of X. So I hope this helps, and I hope that you do make sure to subscribe because we're hoping to produce more exclusive content, tricks, and tips in the future. Hey, Geeking Out on STEM family, guess what? We want you to hit that subscribe button. Why? Because we'll be producing more content just like this for the AP Biology exam and the new digital SAT exam. By subscribing, you'll be getting exclusive, up-to-date tips, tricks, and secrets for both exams. Also, if you're a parent, a teacher, a homeschool instructor, or a student, you might be looking for affordable and exclusive digital products to help improve multiple choice questions, free response questions, or question bank questions related to both the digital SAT or AP Biology exam. We have them here. Make sure to check out our link tree in our bio for curated resources that you won't find anywhere else. These unique resources are designed to help you raise your score. By hitting the subscribe button, the more subscribers we get, by the way, the more videos we can make. So make sure to join our family to ensure that you get a perfect score for both exams. We can't wait to help you succeed.